And quite a nice group here going to negotiate the 10 hurdles. I want to tell all of you that I actually put a seatbelt on Felix Sanchez to make sure he didn't come down there and try to begin his third season, his third career in the hurdles. So he is safely up here, and this is your race. Who do you like?
Well, Quincy Downing is obviously the hands down the favorite here. He won last year. It'll be interesting to see if he can better what he ran last year, 48.80. Those are things you look at when you, especially the first time in the meet, you want to gauge where you are compared to last year. He's going to be gunning for that 48.80, trying to run faster than that.
And the 2012 World Junior Champion gold medalist in the 4x4 is Quincy Downing. And Felix, I have to ask you this. After all the races you ran, as we look at Emmanuel Mayers of Trinidad and Tobago, what is the mental component that you had at the start line that made you the best of anybody in the world?
Well, that's the point where a lot of hurdlers, they make the mistake and they start thinking about the result. They start thinking about who's in lane 5, who's in lane 4. At that point, when you're behind the blocks and you're hearing the names being announced, is when you need to just sit back, focus, think about what you're going to do hurdle by hurdle. When are you going to make your transitions? When are you going to switch legs? When are you going to switch your rhythm? And focusing on not hitting any hurdles and not making any errors. Those are the things that you should be thinking about prior to the race, not anything else.
Well, there you have it from a two-time Olympic gold medalist from the Dominican Republic, Felix Sanchez, who knows about being on the top of the Olympic podium twice. And there you see the hurdles that await everyone. And, of course, it's that home straightaway where things can get dangerous.
You ready?
And in lane 3, Alawanli of Nigeria, Adrian Clark of Jamaica in 4, Quincy Downing of the United States in 5, Emmanuel Mayers of Trinidad and Tobago, 2013 CAC champion. He is in 6. In the out lane 7 is Jamil Joseph of Trinidad and Tobago, and he is a 2017 Trinbagonian decathlon champion. So there's a young man who is working through multiple events. There's Jamil Joseph out in lane 7. And Felix, the other issue about the 400 hurdles, for those who may not know, is just the rhythm is so important, right? Because if you can't take 13 steps between every hurdle all the way around, you call it 13 stepping, then you're going to run so many steps the first 5 or 6 and then switch. Can you explain that briefly?
Yeah, some athletes, well, before Edwin Moses had the template, it was 13 all the way around if you wanted to be successful. But nowadays, there's some athletes that go 15 all the way around, 13 for half, and then 14, then 15 is what I did. Some athletes go 14 all the way around. It just depends what best fits and suits your running style.
Right, and if you happen to be changing from 13 to 14 or what have you, that means that you're starting off with one lead leg and then switching to a different lead leg.
Yep, you got to alternate. You got to switch legs.
Yeah, that's an amazing skill. All right, men's 400 hurdles, ready for the gun.
Stand up.
And they're having to stand up.
When you're speaking about rhythm, it's interesting to see how lane 3 and 4 respond to obviously this setting. They're chasing the guy who he has the target on his back, which is Quincy Downing. They're coming off Commonwealth Games finalists. They've already run rounds, they've run the race, they have the rhythm, so they're confident. So it'll be interesting to see how aggressive they are the first few hurdles, see if they go after Quincy Downing early.
Okay, and you're talking about Alawanli of Nigeria in 3 on the inside.
Yes.
And Andre Clark of Jamaica in 4 on the inside, with Quincy Downing in 5 just to their outside.
Absolutely.
But the X factor is that, I don't know, 18, 19 hours of travel from the Gold Coast back to the States and then here deep into the Caribbean, or excuse me, the Caribbean,
right?
And how that's going to affect their legs. We'll see right now.
Yeah.
Stand.
Little problem with the gun there.
Okay.
Well, at least no one jumped.
So after multiple stand-ups like this, how do you refocus?
You just try to go back through the race plan again. You don't lose your focus. Don't think about what's happening. Obviously, right now the wind's picking up down here. It looks like by the jerseys that the wind's picking up down there, which doesn't bode well for the backstretch. So we'll see how these athletes adjust to any wind that hits them in their face.
And we were talking about the number of athletes, Felix, who were at the Commonwealth Games in Australia, Gold Coast of Australia, who have made the trip all the way here to be, and that's a long list of athletes who were competing just last week finishing up that competition, making it back, most of them to the United States, and then coming here pretty far south in the Caribbean. So a lot of traveling. Got to believe a lot of jet lag, but still on the track and ready to compete. Okay, finally a fair start in the men's 400-meter hurdles. Alawanle, Clark, Downing, Quincy Downing in lane 5 of the United States. You see him now in the white jersey pulling away. Emmanuel Mayers of Trinidad and Tobago in lane 6, and Jamil Joseph, also of Trinidad and Tobago, in lane 7. Downing looking pretty good right now in the white jersey, coming right at you.
Yeah, Andre Clark is going for it. He made a move after 2 to 3, and he tried to chase down Downing. We'll see if he pays for it coming back home.
Andre Clark now in the peach-colored jersey, pulling up just on the outside and now passing Quincy Downing. Downing looking as though he's beginning to stress a little bit. And look at the fluidity of Andre Clark of Jamaica on the inside. Downing now in the white jersey slipping off the pace, but if Clark can hit this hurdle right, he is going to take himself to the finish line first, doing exactly that, winning the 400-meter hurdles.
If the time stands up, it's a PR, but I told you, it's a rhythm race, and you can see that Quincy Downing was struggling with his rhythm, he was struggling with his 13 strides from the beginning. Andre Clark he may have tired legs, but he has the rhythm. It's ingrained. He's sharp. I'm sure he had zero training from the end of Commonwealth to here, but he warmed up a few times. And once you have that rhythm in you, it's ingrained in there. It's muscle memory, and he just went off memory. You see him finishing here. He dropped down to 15 strides here, and he's just smooth, good technician, which is interesting for Jamaicans. Usually they just run and jump, run and jump. But he's definitely done his work. He's a great technician. He's smooth over the last hurdle, didn't lose any momentum, and he's driving here. And he hopefully, a slight PR. He had it 49.10. Here he ran 49.09.
He'll take that. All right, Jill.
Andre, you literally just flew halfway around actually all the way around the world to get here, and you come here and have a personal best. What worked so well in that race for you?
Well, the whole thing is that I come on well. It was like in the finals, I didn't do what I was supposed to. So I just come here and just put it together, get it right, and just keep going.
This early in the outdoor season, what kind of momentum does this give you moving forward?
Well, it's a great one. This is my second race outdoor, so it's been good. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, so yeah.
Go enjoy this.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. So there's a big smile on the face of Andre Clark from Jamaica, who has a great close to win the 400 hurdles. He does it in a personal best after traveling all the way around the world. Andre Clark of Jamaica winning the 400 hurdles.